the long anticipated new game that everybody has been so hype about is finally here. Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero. And this makes the child in me so giddy. This has been the game that's been on my mind since its release. I usually don't buy the early access versions of games because personally I can wait a few days to play a game, but with this, just not the case. I had to get it as soon as I could. Plus, the game early access came out on my birthday, so a little bit of an early present for myself if I had to spoil myself a little bit. But this game brought me right back to when I was younger playing the original Budokai Tenkaishis, where just picking every single character, trying everybody out, trying to get friends and cousins to 1v1 me and see who can beat each other with the meme characters, or if somebody gets mad, just pick Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta or something. And that, right off the bat, I have to say is probably one of my favorite things about the Budokai Tenkaichi series, especially looking at like 2, especially 3, was just the vast amount of characters you could select. And this game does not disappoint, bringing us about 182 characters, counting the pre-order DLC Daima Goku. So usually in Dragon Ball games, I usually start off with a fight against a CPU, Goku versus Vegeta, classic. But when you first boot up the game, you get this amazing tutorial with Goku and Vegeta. Basically, they knew what we were all trying to do. And it's so obvious that every single moment in this game, every single mode has so much love behind it, where you can tell it was made by Dragon Ball fans for the Dragon Ball fans, where everything is just fun, from the opening intro to hell, even the menus themselves have so much love and care and didn't get annoying, even though everything has like a small animation to it and plays out in a different scene, where each tab on the menu is a different setting with Goku interacting with different members of the Dragon Ball crew. I know they're called Z Fighters, but they also have like Chi-Chi, Whis, just hanging out, and you switch over to the custom matches, and it moves pretty seamlessly. And even when you're just scrolling through menus trying to just get somewhere, like I just want to get to the online mode, it doesn't stall, it's pretty seamless, and it just a little touch to make the menu scrolling a little bit more fun. But first thing I recommend anybody does is just jump right into the episode mode, where it goes through pretty much the same Dragon Ball story we all seen and heard 1,000 times, and it does switch through different aspects where you can pick which character you do want to play as and go through them in the story, where obviously Goku has the most amount of levels, you could say, but you're a fan of Piccolo, you can just go through his perspective in the story. But I wouldn't say that this is the best game to experience the story of Dragon Ball for the first time. They do kind of hover around a lot of like insignificant stuff. Honestly, Kakarot's the best for it, but this is also more of a game for the diehard fans that already know and play through the story countless of times through other media. But while we're on the story mode, I just have to go on a little rant real quick. I know that a lot of people have had mixed reactions to the grade 8 Vegeta fight, but for me personally, I got my ass handed to me so many times. He just spammed the same 3 moves and it got on my nerves, and I almost got up to record a rant video as soon as I finished him off. It took me about 30 minutes in my recording to beat this guy. And honestly, after this fight, I pretty much started feeling myself agreeing with Frieza more often, like, maybe he had a point. But in my opinion, the main draw to this mode is probably the what if stories. Budokai Tenkaichi is pretty much known for having the what ifs, and in this game they do not let down. Some of them is just, oh, what if they beat the main antagonist at this point instead of a later point? But some of them go long into the rabbit hole, where it gives some of the other Z fighters more significant moments. And slight spoilers, this is a very early on one, but you can have Goku going solo to fight Raditz, and it ends up with all the Z fighters living and doing a big team attack. And it's like, wow, this really brings to light some of the characters I haven't even thought about in a while, like Tien or even Yamcha finish off the big baddie with Goku. And there's tons and tons more that you just have to see for yourself, so I don't feel good about myself spoiling them to you now. But it just doesn't stop there. There's also a custom scenario mode where you can create your own battle settings, your own what ifs, and go through and play through everybody else's Mario level maker style. And this is definitely a mode I probably see myself coming back to more often than some of the others, because I love seeing what other people get creative with and what I can do on my own. Like, I remember the first few days of early access, I seen a bunch of Kaba versus SSJ4 Gogetas dealing with the memes, and even a Hercule versus the Tournament of Power. All of them are just so fun and creative. I love coming up with my own, and I think playing through some of the others is just so refreshing, and I love seeing the mind of where some of the what ifs for Dragon Ball characters will go. And there are a few that the developers have made themselves, about 30, and they're pretty creative. Nothing too much to write home about, pretty much showcasing the mode in general and what you can do with it. I definitely think the online ones that people make themselves are way more fun and interesting. But I know the mode that most people are here for is to duke it out with other people online and show that you're better than anybody else who put their hands on this game. And even when it comes to the online features, this game does not disappoint. As we all know, Budokai Tenkaichi is not a balanced fighter game. So in this, they pick a BP system where each character costs a certain amount of points, and you're able to pick up to 15 points worth of characters. So you can either pick an overpowered character and hope he just survives through the whole gauntlet, or you can pick 5 decent characters and maybe overpower somebody with numbers. And they have rank and unrank matchmaking, and I especially love the lobby system in fighting games, where it's kind of like King of the Hill situation, where you can watch the other players duke it out as you wait for your turn and get hype about somebody overcoming the main player who's been dominating the lobby for probably like in half an hour. Or even make your own tournament modes, because this isn't Dragon Ball without a tournament. You could play online, or you can go through the different tournaments from the different sagas. Like, they have a Cell games, and they're really fun but pretty standard to Budokai Tenkaichi. But with that being said, this game is so much fun. I put close to 50 hours in it, and it's only going up from here. This game has been on my mind since I picked it up, and it's hard for me to put it down, even to record this video, really. So honestly, what I'm gonna do now is keep this outro pretty short so I can get back to it. and say this isn't gonna be the last of Sparking Zero content. Let me know if you want to see me do some rank matches or play against some of my peoples. So for now, all I want to say is like, comment, and subscribe. Do your thing so I can do my thing. Peace.